welcome to Business News. I am Frank Omalape. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has stated that it will not be held responsible for any disruption, loss of revenue, or loss of services arising from the use of the eNaira website. This comes as the eNaira Speed wallet vanished from the Google Play Store yesterday after over 100,000 users had downloaded it. The incident happened about 48 hours after the eNaira app was launched by President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja. Spokesperson of the CBN NO.1 said the disappearance of the app from the Google Play Store was to enable the eNaira Speed wallet to be upgraded. Still on eNaira, the Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday warned Nigerians on the activities of fraudulent individuals and impostors working to defraud unsuspecting members of the public through false eNaira disbursement claims. The fraudsters are wooing Nigerians with claims that the central bank was giving out 50 billion eNaira currency to citizens. However, the CBN Director of Corporate Communications, Osita Nwanisobi, disclosed in a statement that its attention had been drawn to criminal activities of some individuals, including a fraudulent Twitter handle at eNaira_CBDC, purported to belong to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Away from there now, the World Bank has stated that it is in disagreement with the Central Bank of Nigeria on ways the Nigerian Apex Bank is planning to achieve its price stabilization objective. The country director for Nigeria World Bank, Shuban Chaudhry, made this disclosure. He also said even though the World Bank aligns with the CBN on the need to achieve price stability as one of its core mandates, it differed on the process and choice of policies in accomplishing this. Chaudhry further said the Naira should be allowed to respond to real pressures as opposed to the CBN trying to bottle up the pressures. And on the African scene now, Equity Group has set aside 500 billion shillings to finance Kenyan and South African firms seeking to trade or invest in Africa in a move to expand its business beyond 7 countries where it operates. The bank will offer credit to companies that want to set up manufacturing, construction, health and investment firms, facilitate value addition through processing and packaging, and finance export or import business. The lender will be tapping into about $500 billion or shillings funds, out of which close to 100 billion shillings will be from development institutions such as the African Development Bank and the rest from customers' deposit. The bank is eyeing the South African firms also to establish its presence in the market without setting up physical branches and raising competition for other commercial banks such as Absa Bank and Standard Bank. And on the international scene, Asian stock fell Thursday amid concerns that the recovery from the pandemic will slow as high inflation rate forces tighter monetary policy. Shares slipped in Japan and China and were little changed in South Korea, where Samsung Electronics Company's third-quarter profit exceeded the estimate. U.S. and European futures edged up after the tech-heavy Nasdaq 100 touched an intraday record, and the S&P 500 dipped but stayed in sight of all-time highs. Flatter sovereign yield curves are highlighting growth worries as price pressures stoked by an energy crunch and supply chain snarls push central banks toward paring accommodation. The yen and gold advanced and resource-linked currencies struggled in a sign of cautious investor sentiment. In the oil market now, prices slumped to their lowest in 2 weeks after official figures showed a surprise jump in U.S. inventories of crude and rising cases of COVID-19 in Europe, Russia, and some outbreaks of infections in China dented hopes for an economic recovery. Brent crude dropped $1.58 or about 1.9% to $83 a barrel, having hit a 2-week low of $82.32 earlier and falling by 2.1% in the previous session. U.S. oil fell 1.39, that is $1.39 to about $81.27 a barrel on a week-on-week low after dropping 2.4% in Wednesday. Outbreaks of coronavirus infections in China and record deaths and the threat of lockdowns in Russia, along with the rising cases in Western Europe, were putting the brakes on a multi-week rally in oil prices. Well, and that's much we can take on business news at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Franco Malape. It's back to you now, Michael.